cause I'm back again. I'm reloaded.
Hit the like button, fool.
What's up, everybody? It's your guy T-Swin. Always back to win. I got my boy King David in the building with me. And tonight, man, I've been noticing this a lot, man. Passport Bros has been big in conversations and talks recently. And there's been a lot of hate going toward brothers with passports or men with passports leaving the country to look for relationships, marriages, and other things. And people have always been able to leave the country, but more than ever, men are getting upset with the way Western women act, and then taking their talents other places. So I'm gonna introduce my boy coming up on the screen, Real King David. What's up, bro?
Yeah, how's everybody doing? What's going on, Tony? What up, T-Swin? What up, T-Swin? Thank you for having me.
Much, man. Hey, thank you for coming on, man. It's my boy, man. One of my best friends. Been knowing him forever. Forever. Yeah.
Oh man, I don't even know where to begin.
Yeah.
Tell us. Okay, so elaborate more on the topic, please.
Well, yeah, man. A lot of men have been catching negative feedback and lashback from women, for men going overseas looking for relationships. And it's been coming from women who don't even pay these men any mind. These men ain't even on their radar, but they have something negative to say about them going and looking for relationships or taking their talent somewhere else or exercising their options overseas.
Yeah. I would probably have to. Well, no, I would say I first experienced what you're describing because we were both in the military at the same time.
Oh yeah.
I first had my first opportunity to kind of be able to identify with this when I was in the military, but I never really had the opportunity to truly just kind of take an observation of what life was like, abroad until I became a civilian. And, in our previous podcast, we were talking about, our relationships. Both of us were married, both of us are divorced. And we married Western women. We tried our best, and things kind of didn't work out, And I remember, around my 30th birthday, I was just really extremely unhappy, and I was burned out. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just try to take, things, abroad, and just kind of see, at least have the opportunity to kind of see if the grass is greener. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I exhausted all of my my resources here, and I was still getting the same result. So I traveled abroad, and I noticed that things were like, a complete 180 degrees. It's completely different. You know what I'm saying? And I am a changed person, and I don't think I would ever date another Western woman. I just won't.
Yeah. Now, like I say, man, I've been a lot of places. I lived in Japan for a year. I've been all over South America, man. Panama, Puerto Rico, Peru, Ecuador, Chile, Venezuela, Argentina. I haven't said Puerto Rico already. Brazil. I've been a lot of places in South America. I've been to Russia. I've been to South Korea. I've been to China, Hong Kong. And like I said, I lived in Japan for a year, and I had a relationship while I was out there in Japan. And I can honestly say, man, it was the best relationship I was in. You know what I'm saying? Totally different from the Western world. The culture, the traditions. Not any, man, very feminine, beautiful. And
culture,
man, treated me like a king.
Respect.
Yeah, treated me like a king, man.
Respect.
That woman didn't argue with me. She didn't call me out my name. She didn't try to act like she was gonna fight me or that she could whoop me. You know what I'm saying? And she knew martial art, and she still ain't like she could whoop me. You know what I'm saying? She cooked, she cleaned, she listened. So one thing, she really listened. And like if we were having a conversation and she heard me say I like something, or I was interested in something, she went out of her way to try to go get it, do it, or see if we could go do it together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She would cook, and I'm not saying I'm not saying I want a slave or anything like that. Don't get it twisted out there. But she would cook. She would cook, man, and she would wait until I said the food was good and approved it before she sat down. If my glass got half full, she would fill it back up. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying these are not things I told her to do. These just how she act. This is the culture.
Yeah.
And like I said, another thing I took the way of life, the way they lived out there. People are not obese. You know what I'm saying? She was a pretty woman. She was feminine. She had a nice shape on her, and she was a lady.
Yeah, the women out there that I've noticed was women there are very submissive, but they're not subservient. You know, there's a big misconception. You know, it's like I'm not like you said. Nobody's asking for a slave. You know, I'm asking for a partner and somebody who, but more importantly, that somebody's going to give me the respect that I deserve. And like in our previous, conversations, like I said, it's not the problem here is not lack of love; it's lack of respect.
Yeah.
And that is the breakdown, so people I guess the argument is like, so for example, if somebody was to ask me why did you leave, why is it that you're seeking refuge here, it's because I can't find refuge here, so like I was watching a clip of Andrew Tate earlier, and he was talking about the difference between men and simps,
Yeah.
and he was basically saying, it's like, I will be able to try. I'll do my best as a man to, to provide and give you the best quality of life that I can give you until that respect stops, until you start acting as if like what I'm doing for you is no longer appreciated, and what he said is the best thing to do is just don't talk anymore. Instead of me, trying to sit here and continue to provide and try to basically please somebody who doesn't want to be pleased. What I'm saying? They don't want to be around you. So the best way to handle that is to just stop talking to them and leave them alone. You know, a lot of people just sit there and try to, create energy, whether it's negative, whether it's positive. When a woman is turned off, she's just turned off. And a lot of men understand that, you know, and some women, have the, ideal in their mind that we are supposed to sit here and spin our tops trying to please somebody who does not want to be pleased, or at least not by me. You understand what I'm saying? Because once she's turned off for whatever reason it is that she has in her head, it's not my obligation to sit here and try to read your mind or try to rekindle things that I can't rekindle. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm just spinning my wheels. So again, it's like, give me the respect that I deserve to tell me I don't love you anymore. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing that they won't do. But they're the first to initiate divorce. But they
a
won't
lot
tell me.
a lot of people are just holding on to you till they find that second option or that
Exactly.
second or third option. They hold on to you because they got that. They're working on their plan B. In my observation and experience, it's like they not saying that, hey, I want to move on. Let's quit this, because they're looking for that. They're executing their way out. Their exit plan.
Right. Well, no,
You know what I'm saying?
exactly. It's all a game. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and it's sad that this is the game that it's sad that people will not give you the respect that you deserve just to say, you know what, collectively, we just don't work well together. And that's fine. You know what I'm saying? But let me be, let me grow. And it's kind of like, what just recently happened in Memphis. You know what I'm saying? You had a civilian that was basically brutally beaten down, by these 5 officers over, the fact that this woman moved on, right?
Yeah.
This woman moved on to be with somebody else. The officer found out who he was, and they beat him to death. You know what I'm saying? So instead of just kind of letting that shit fly, he had a problem with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the sad part is, in the inverse, it's like, what, some women have a problem with men, like, what, let that shit, let that bird fly and let him be happy. You know what I'm saying? But now it's like we're getting all this backlash because it's like, I found the golden ticket and it's just not here.
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. The
Exactly.
golden ticket, boy.
I found the golden ticket. And it's like, it's like when you actually see that somebody's happy somewhere else.
Yeah.
We're getting backlash because we found happiness, we found respect, and we found refuge somewhere else. And what we realized was it's just not here. It's not here. You know, and I've experienced this like around my 30th birthday. I went through my divorce and I took that very hard. You know what I'm saying? Women, women don't love men the same as men love women. You know what I'm saying? Men love women, idealistically. Women love men opportunistically. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, and that's why it's so hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, women are, they want you to be all these things. You know what I'm saying? Before they actually want to submit to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And but when a man loves a woman, he loves her. He loves her soul. He loves everything about her. So like when she's the one who's initiating divorce, he's suicidal. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like we're over here trying to figure out where did I screw up? I don't get it. You know, and of course they're not going to tell you. They're not going to tell you what's going on. They want to play mind games, and it's like we're at an age now where we don't have time to be reading minds. I'm too old.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you know, the problem is like it's like they're not happy when they're with you, and they're definitely not happy when you want to leave. You know, they kind of want to keep you in purgatory.
Man,
They waste their time. They want to waste the best years of your life in purgatory. You know,
it's crazy, man. A lot of times we talked about this too. You not being the first choice. A lot of times they don't even want you, but they don't want you to be happy with nobody else. I've seen this numerous times. Well, they don't want you, but you find somebody else, and they get mad. I've seen women walk up and slap their ex dude in the back of the head because he had a new girlfriend, but you cheated on him, and you with the dude that you cheated with, but you want to be mad because he moved on. He supposed to be what, still hurt or something like that.
right.
And this is things I've known. I know a woman that cheated on her husband, and he was a hardworking dude. He was a veteran. He was working at a industrial plant, making good money, put him in a brand new house, brand new car, and she was cheating on him with some street thug that she had a kid by. You know, previously he was taking care of that kid. He had adopted that child. And so he found out and he got rid of her. He said, I don't want to be with you no more. You want to know what she did? She went and got some goons to come break in the house and jump him. He had moved on, got himself another girlfriend. She hired some goons. They came and beat him up, destroyed everything. He was a technical guy. He was in the electronics and stuff. They destroyed all his electronics and everything he loved in the house, beat him up, you know, because he moved on.
Exactly.
You didn't want him anyway. But like,
where's the logic in that? How does that make any fucking sense? Please make me understand that.
Yeah, I've been wrong. I've been wronged and decided to move on, and I was told I'm gonna make your life a living hell. It's like, why? I didn't do anything to you. You don't want to do the stuff, but you want to make my life a living hell. But back to the topic. I can't have you. Nobody can have you. Yeah, but back to the topic. Yeah. A lot of women are giving these guys negative feedback for them just going overseas and looking for relationships other place, more traditional relationships with more feminine women. Because out here in the West, it tends to be more masculine women, extremely masculine, loud, boisterous, lots of attitude. You know, want everything, but don't want to offer anything. Well, take me as I am. You need to better yourself, but take me as I am. Right. I don't want to fix any of my traumas. Take me as I am.
It's all double standard. It's double standard.
And then you hear this, well, they going overseas because they can't handle a real woman. I'm not supposed to handle you. I'm not supposed to argue with you. I'm not supposed to fight with you every day. I'm supposed to come home. You're supposed to be my peace. You're supposed to be my helpmate. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And so they tend to think that these women overseas are dumb, that they're uneducated because they're not in America. You got to go around the world and travel, man. America ain't everything. Sometimes you go to these other places, you be like, damn, this place is beautiful. It's more laid back. Life is easier. My money goes further. Shit, I might want to leave America and come live here the rest of my life. You won't know until you go travel.
That's right. But you're never going to know that unless you leave Pasadena. You know what I'm saying? You literally have people. You have some people that haven't even left their county. Let alone
their block, their zip code.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. It's like, you know, I remember when I left, you know, I joined the Navy when I was 20. I came home and you had these same people that had the same shit mindset, still living in the past. It's like, God damn, dude. It's like, yeah, I don't think like you anymore. You know what I'm saying? And then as I kind of, you know, and then I started, you know, women that I would date, they were still doing that same, you know who I'm talking about, you know, them same mind games and this, that, and the other. It's like you could never get them to kind of just like, they sit there and they tell you one thing. I had this one woman that I grew up with. And you know, I would say that, you know, at one time I loved her. You know what I'm saying? I can honestly tell you that I did. But the problem was she would give me mixed messages. You know what I'm saying? Very educated, very educated woman, very well off, made a lot of money. That was not the issue. The issue is she would sit there and give me mixed messages telling me that, this is what I want from you. And then literally on the next day, I would see her on live with some other dude in another state. You know what I'm saying? But you're over here telling me one thing and I see you on live with somebody else the next day, but you have the audacity to tell me about what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a double standard. You can't have both. So the sad part is women, in the West, they want a trick. They don't even want a man. They
want a
want a
sucker.
trick.
They want a
Yeah,
do
they want a
boy.
trick. Go do
Yeah.
this, bitch. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's the truth. Go do this, bitch. And so then they be talking to their girlfriends about what they can exhaust, what kind of resources that they can exhaust you for. They brag about it.
Extract from you. Yeah.
They brag about it. I have
Yeah.
girlfriends of mine. I have girlfriends of mine that were platonic friends, and they tell me how many tricks they have.
Yeah.
Silly rabbit, tricks are for kids. You know what I'm saying? It's the truth. And this is why,
Yeah.
like when I was life coaching, a lot of girlfriends, when I stopped dating for about 10 years, I stopped dating women. And I'm like, and the reason why I stopped dating women is because I stopped trusting. Because I became very close friends with a lot of them, and they would tell me their innermost, deepest, dark secrets about what they do and how they do it and how they survive. This is a means for survival for them until they age out, and then they have to, and then they have to start to settle.
Yeah, go ahead, preach.
Yeah, that's what it is. We live. It's like they're basically. It's like they're basically just trying to trick us. They want us to basically exhaust us of all of our resources, and then when we're burned out, they're like, well, he had a bad attitude. when they max out your credit cards and they make you broke, then they want to talk shit about you. But they got new cars, new tits. You finance. You're paying for her and some other dude on a trip. You know what I'm saying, with your credit card.
Yeah.
But you're worried about what we're doing in a foreign country. So, I mean, and here's the crazy part. The crazy part is it's like we actually, or me, I can only speak for myself.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
left because I needed just the experience and just, I needed a breath of fresh air just to kind of just like, you know what, anything is better than this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I started, like you gave your list of where you went. So I started out, I went to, the first place I went, I think I went to Mexico. I went to Costa Rica, Panama, Colombia, Thailand, Singapore, China, Indonesia, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Korea, Japan. So the people that I kind of got along with, like the first place, like when I went to Central America, when I was in Costa Rica, the people that I got along with the most were the Dominicans and the Colombians. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Let me go to the source. So I flew to Colombia. And then I flew to the Dominican Republic. You know what I'm saying? And I just kind of, one thing I've noticed about them, they're just very laid back. They don't think about the future.
They not stressed out about any of the stuff we stressed out over here.
They live in the now. They live in the now.
You ain't gotta get the big mansion. You ain't gotta go get the Birkin bags. You ain't gotta come home with the Bentley and all that.
That is unimportant to them.
They just happy with a man that works.
Yes, they live in the moment. They live in the moment. They say pura vida bye. That's what they say in Costa Rica. It's just like live life. You know what I'm saying? Tranquilo. In Dominican Republic, they say tranquilo. That just means chill out, bro. We're chilling. We don't care.
Yeah.
So all this extra in China, they call it Shengyao. Shengyao. That means show off. Shengyao Di. In China, that means the number one show off. The problem is out there, it's like they don't care. You know what I'm saying? Here, the problem is everybody's over here trying to be flashy. Everybody's over here trying to be something that they're not.
Everybody trying to stunt for the gram.
Right. You're over here trying to stunt instead of actually living. It's like, make your bones now, and then you can go out and do what you want to do in life.
Yeah.
So what I've learned, you know what I'm saying, in my 15 years of travel is the fact that you don't have to be rich to have that life. You don't have to make $1 million to have that life. You don't have to have 1 million girls to be happy.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So there's a misconception they're out there, out there with like a billion different women. That is not the case. It's just
Yeah, sex
I am
tourism. They keep thinking that passport bros are going over there strictly for sex tourism.
no,
Nah,
no
man, it's for peace of mind.
peace of mind. I just want to, be able to drink fresh water, breathe fresh air, eat fresh food, be around,
Yeah,
maybe a different philosophy, a different way of life. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? And while you're there, you learn to pay attention and you kind of learn to kind of absorb. It's like, you know what? While I'm here, I'm gonna sit here and maybe adjust my philosophies a little bit, and maybe I was wrong. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And maybe I can kind of bring this Eastern philosophy or this Buddhist philosophy or this Muslim philosophy back to where I came from. And maybe I can start applying that, towards how I live and
Yeah.
make me a happier person. I am truly a much happier person now because I'm more worldly. You know what I'm saying?
More travel.
That
Yeah.
I understand that, like, if kind of push comes to shove, I come here, I work, I make money, but when that time is up, I am gone. I
Yeah.
am not here. I am not
Now,
here.
now, a lot of these women tend to think that these women in these other countries are like super poor, they're slaves, that they're dumb and stupid, uneducated. Let me tell you something. If you ain't never traveled around the world, America ain't as first place as you think it is. It ain't as high tech as you think it is. Because I lived in Japan, and the technology I was experiencing in 06,
10 years
07
ahead. They're 10
is
years ahead.
some of the technology we just now experiencing here in the States. So don't ever look down on other countries and their cultures. You know what I'm saying? And you get a lot of negative feedback also from men. You know what I'm saying? Man, you can't find a woman here. Man, you guys going, man, if you haven't traveled outside the country, then don't say nothing, man. Take yourself outside the country and go see for yourself. You'll see it's an easier way of life. The women are nicer. You don't get a stank attitude when you walk up to somebody. You know what I'm saying?
It's much easier to talk to people. They're like,
Then
I mean, they're very easy to talk to.
yeah,
The first thing they're going to ask you, and it's interesting. They so it doesn't matter if you're white, you're brown, you're black. When you leave the country, you know what you are? You're American.
yeah.
You're American. Ah, the American. Obama. Mr. Trump. Ah, you're American. There's no you don't have to deal with the how color struck we are, the way we are
Yeah,
here. They're like they don't look at you that way there.
yeah,
You're American. Oh
yeah,
yeah, I like your president. Or your president he talks a lot. But we can agree to disagree.
yeah,
You understand what I'm saying? And so it's very different. The thing is I'm not the real King David from Texas. You know what I'm saying? When I'm over there, it's like, oh, you're David the American. Tell me more. Or what they want to hear, they want to listen to you. They want to hear about your life, your experiences, this, that, and the other. And then you start to realize is while you're there, it's like, man, I think your life is better.
yeah,
It's like I want to kind of hear more about your life. I'm like, I don't want to talk about me. I'm not here.
yeah,
It's interesting. When I leave, I don't like being around people like me. It's funny. You go to Cancun and everybody there's from Texas. I'm like, I didn't come here to be around you. I came around here. I left here to get away from you.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I left here to get away from this life. I left to kind of, I want to experience something different. I need a release. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. And one
I
thing
need
I
a
noticed,
release.
man, one thing I noticed too, man, is like the people, man, simple way of life. They enjoy themselves. They enjoy family. Family is a big thing overseas in other cultures. And they're
Absolutely.
not stressing themselves out trying to figure out how they're going to get this mansion or get this foreign car or something like that. They're not worrying about all this bullshit that we focus on over here and stressing ourselves out. How can we keep up with the Joneses? Them people
Staying
not worried
broke.
about that.
Staying
Yeah,
broke.
staying broke.
We have,
And
we have
faking
a
and
very
flogging and flossing. They're not worried about none of that stuff.
we have a very broke mentality here. You know what I'm saying? It's like you will die broke here. There is no generational wealth. When you die, they're going to take it all. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And it's sad because it's like the more money you make, the more in debt you become because the more money you make, the more you spend. You know what I'm saying? The bigger the car you have, the bigger the house that you have, the bigger the purses, the shoes, the
Yeah,
chains,
yeah.
everything. So it's like, are you really ever getting ahead? You're not.
Yeah.
I'm saying the problem we are being brainwashed to stay broke. We have a very broke mentality here. We have a very disposable. See, also one thing in the West, which I've learned, is we have a very disposable attitude here. We don't preserve nothing. Everything here is disposable. You go to Spain, you go to like Saudi Arabia, you go to Africa, Ethiopia, Persia, Iran, or or Mexico. You start seeing these beautiful, beautiful landmarks that have been preserved for hundreds or thousands of years. We don't have none of that. We have none of that here. You know what I'm saying? We don't preserve nothing. We just build shit and we destroy it. It's like, people here are not proud of who they are. They're not proud of their
Yeah.
roots. They're not proud of who they are. You know what I'm saying? Where in any other country do you go to a sporting event? You go to a sporting event and you have the locals that are voting for that are rooting for the other guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've never got that. You know what I'm saying? You go to like a Canelo Alvarez fight. Okay, he's fighting an American, but the majority of the people that are at that fight are, they're rooting for Canelo, the Mexican flag, this, that, and the other. But the champion is American. You know what I'm saying? Or you could have two people. You know what I'm saying? You could have two people, like say like one guy who's maybe half American, half of something else descent, but it's like they're rooting for the other country. You know what I'm saying? It's like people here have a very little respect for where they come from, and I find that deeply saddening. This is one of the greatest countries in the world, and it's like people here have like no respect for where they're from. But but you'll spend their money. You know what I'm saying? You'll live here, and you want the protections of this country. You want the protections of this country. You want the luxuries of this country. You know what I'm saying? But you don't claim this country. So
Yeah.
I'm deeply offended of that. You know what I'm saying?
Now, another thing these women have been saying about these passport bros and men, as Brazil says, man, blue book gentlemen. And no mistake, man, I've had my passport for about a decade, so this ain't nothing brand new. You know what I'm saying? We've been international players, not just, but a lot of people. Let me see. Let me get back. Let me get my thoughts straight. It's been a lot of negative talk and saying that these guys are going down here and these women are going after them because they know that they're a lick. That they're like, yeah, you guys think y'all doing something, but they just waiting on the lick. Let me tell you something, man. If for a man, any relationship a man is going to be in, he's going to spend some money. He's going to spend his time and his money with any woman from anywhere. You know what I'm saying? The only thing is that in these other countries, your money goes further. As a man, we know that we're going to spend money and time. So, and everybody's not, you're talking about, and another thing they say is, they're just trying to get a green card about you. They're trying to get a visa. Now, let me tell you something. As a traveled man, every person don't want to come back to America.
Correct.
Some people know how hard it is to make it out here, and how far a dollar go. They know how hard you got to struggle. I know a gang of people from Africa, Latin America. That's like, man, I can't wait to go back to my country because I'd have it easier in my country. It's so hard to make a dollar. I'm working 3 jobs just to live in an apartment. You know what I'm saying? So everybody ain't trying to come back to America to get a green card or a visa. I had a Japanese girlfriend, bro. She didn't want to come back to America. All she wanted was me.
There's a huge misunderstanding, and don't get me wrong. I mean, like, there is a credible argument, I guess, for what you're describing. There are some of those people that kind of feel the need to kind of go there and try to bring somebody back. But the thing is, some of them kind of go. I mean, you have bad apples. There's an example for everything. But for the most part, it's like a lot of women that I've met that are like, for example, in Thailand. Okay, they understand that there's no life for them here. There's no life for them there. They're better off staying in their own country because our money goes so much further there. Now, granted, like you said, our money goes further in these countries. You know what I'm saying? So so we're investing our time and our resources and this, that, and the other. We can actually be able to to identify whether this person is good for us or whether they're not.
Mm.
You know, here, how much money do you have to go through to kind of realize that this person is right or wrong for you? You know what I'm saying? You're going to go through a lot. Over there, your money goes a lot further. So you don't have to spend a lot of money nor a lot of time. You know what I'm saying? You have the opportunity to kind of sit there and kind of realize, okay, I see what this person is like on their territory and how they act. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the best way to define somebody's on their own territory. See how well they treat you. You know,
Yeah.
if they treat you good there, then, you know, you probably got a good one. You know what I'm saying? But more importantly, it's like, why would I want to be here? You know what I'm saying? Where I have to sit here where my resources don't go that far here. My
Yeah.
resources,
Exactly.
you know, my resources in Colombia, for example, go 5,000 times more than where
Yeah.
they go here.
Last
5,000
time I
times
checked,
more.
$1 American was equal to 4,300 Colombian pesos.
Right now, it's around 48, almost 4,900 pesos right now to the dollar. Right now, in
Yeah.
the Dominican Republic's around 50 to 1. In Thailand, it's about 37 to 1. So you kind of see what I'm saying? Yeah, 37 times more the opportunity to make something better than you do here. So, you know, the numbers don't lie. You know what I'm saying? But more importantly,
Yeah.
the numbers don't lie, but the population doesn't lie either. So, for example, you know, you can go to some of these countries, and like the majority of the entire country, the women there are beautiful. They're absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
They're just very pleasant to look at. But moreover, not are they pleasant to look at, they're very polite. You could just walk up to anybody on the street and say, "Hey, how are you doing?" They're like, "Oh, are you American?" I'm like, "Do you speak Spanish, or do you know this and the other?" They're very polite and they're very willing to hear you out.
Yeah.
Here, on the other hand, you try to talk to somebody and they give you a fucking stank attitude, as if like, you know, like I'm a piece of shit.
Like you stole
What do
something
you
from
want?
them.
Like what do you want from me?
Yeah.
Like, why would I want to talk to somebody like that? You're unapproachable. You
Yeah.
have this very, you know,
Aggressive,
aggressive,
masculine.
masculine attitude. Who
Yeah.
the fuck wants that? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, you're kind of setting yourself up for failure. So why would I want to talk to you? Why would I have to work so goddamn hard to try to prove something to somebody who doesn't want to be around me?
Exactly.
So it's different when you're there. Like when in these other places, people are there just more open to just have correspondence with you. You know,
Yeah.
not now. Granted, it may not all work out, but at least, you know, you have a fair opportunity
Yeah.
just to cohabitate, just to be able to have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? So
Now, you got a lot of people, man. So in recently in the black community, you got a lot of people hating, talking about they going over there, they don't want no more black women. Well, Brazil has more black people than the USA. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these countries have more black people than we have here.
Yep.
So what does it matter? Okay, she black, she speaks Spanish. She black, she speaks French. She's still black.
You have Afro Latinas.
Exactly.
So I would
She's black.
say
She's still black. So what you hating for?
when I was in Colombia, you know, in my experience, I spent many years in Colombia, Central America, and I would say at least half the population, half are Afro-Latino. You know what I'm saying? And
Darker than me, lighter than me, my color,
speak Spanish.
kinky hair, afros,
Speak Spanish.
afro puffs, braids.
Speaking Spanish.
Exactly.
You know, so that's not the case. That is not the case. That is not the case. But you know what's so interesting though is like you don't get the same kind of attitude that you get from our, you know, from Afro Latinos to African Americans. It is completely a different world. You know what I'm saying?
Now, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell the people this. If you ain't never been to Brazil, don't talk, because hey, I'm gonna tell you this. You go to Brazil, you in a relationship, or you in a marriage, you might come back single. I'm telling you, you might come back single. All those beautiful women over there, polite, beautiful. I can tell you this right now. You can go into Walmart. Okay, they like to use the term over here in the Western world, bad bitch, right? You might go to Walmart. You might see 2, 3, maybe 3 really fine women in shape. Ain't got everything hanging out. You know what I'm saying?
It ain't like Walmart here. We're looking at a refrigerator.
No, I'm talking
no
about
refrigerators there.
Right
Ain't no
here, right here.
refrigerators
You
there.
might see 2, maybe 3 women that's really, really fine, in shape, got their stuff together, and ain't got all their goodies hanging out. All right, everybody else looking like built like refrigerators and deep freezers. You know what I'm saying? Some of them man ain't got no kids and they barely hitting their thighs. You know, you shouldn't look like that. These other cultures, man, their way of life, people take care of themselves. Yeah. They ain't afraid of hard work. You know what I'm saying? So that's another reason why more of the women look better or more beautiful. You hardly ever see anybody obese. Like 80% of the women are obese.
People there are more fit because of the terrain, because of the topography. You're
the
in
way of life.
Territory. Yeah, the food there is fresh. There's in most of these countries there's limited hardly any processed food. The food there is fresh. Everybody there believes in exercise, diet and exercise. You know that, like in Colombia on Sunday they shut the freeway down. In Colombia on Sundays they shut down the freeway so people can bicycle, they can walk, and they can roller skate on the freeway. You know what I'm saying? You know, they take that very, very, very serious. You know what I'm saying? And the other thing which I've noticed, you know, in these countries is that the families are together.
Yeah.
Mothers and fathers married. You know what I'm saying? There's less broken homes there. You don't have governments that are purposely, you know, destroying the intersanctity of family.
And trying to incentivize women to break up homes.
Fathers in the home. Yes. Yeah. You know, they don't have welfare there. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Either you have haves or you have have-nots. So this is
why. When I lived in Japan, people bicycle, they walk. You get up in the morning, you could, and I would go visit my girlfriend, and I would, you know, sometimes get ready to leave for work in the morning, and I would pass up the park. You have people, old people, man, 90, 70, to young kids, 5 years old in the park. They're in the park doing something similar to Tai Chi early in the morning. Nobody's forcing them to do it. You know what I'm saying? They're all out there. They're all in the park. You know what I'm saying? It's a totally different way of life. Food is healthier. So you're not seeing any obese people. You hardly see any. You want to know who I saw that was overweight or big in Japan?
Old people.
No, not even old people, bro. Sumo wrestlers. That's the only fat people I saw in Japan. Sumo wrestlers. When I would go to Tokyo. That's it. You know what I'm saying? The old people, they not walking around with canes. They ain't on walkers. They ain't in scooters. They walking around.
They live a long time.
It's a totally different way of life, man.
I would see that when I lived in Bangkok for a little while. You would see that in the morning at the parks. You know, like 6 a.m. 6 a.m. You would see like about 100 or 200 people, old people at that.
Yeah.
Old, very, very, very old people doing exercises in the morning, early. You know what I'm saying? Because the sun in Thailand raises at 4:40 in the morning. 4:40 by 5 a.m. the sun is up. You know what I'm saying? So you would see these people out there just, you know, doing like you're saying, Tai Chi, yoga.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why these people live a very long time, but they also don't have the same diets that we have here. You know what I'm saying? They don't eat the way that we do. They don't, you know, they don't eat like sloths. You know what I'm saying? They just eat what's necessary and they move on. You know, a lot of street vendors, a lot of fish, a lot of rice, just very simplistic. They live a very simplistic lifestyle, you know.
Another thing they do too is they don't stack up on food like we do. They go to the market and they buy what they're gonna cook that day.
They buy what they need. That's it.
That's
so everything is fresh.
Yeah.
You know, and if you're hungry, you just go to a street vendor, or you go to a street market and you buy what you need, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? But the cost of food is so much cheaper there. You know, I mean, they're not going through an egg crisis. You know? They have fucking chickens. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're not going through that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's funny. You know?
So another thing, shoot, man, when I went to Brazil, I didn't want to come back to the States. I didn't want to come back to America. When I went to Japan, I had to fly back for a funeral. The attitude, the rudeness, and everything that I experienced, you know, coming back to the States, I couldn't wait to go back to Japan.
Yeah, I didn't.
People are more polite. They're more hospitable. You know what I'm saying? They're cleaner, they're more respectable.
Respect.
You know what I'm saying? I could not wait to get back. I flew into Atlanta. I flew in from Tokyo, Narita, to Atlanta, caught a plane from Atlanta back to Texas. When I landed in Atlanta, I got greeted with attitude. The gate on my ticket had got changed, so I went to the gate I was supposed to go to, and there was a lady there, worked for the airline. I said, ma'am, this is my ticket. I said, what gate I got to go to? What's the correct gate? And she gave me attitude. Number 12. I said, so I got to go. You heard what I said? I said number 12. I was like, man, I don't know you. Why are you even talking to me like that? I was like, I'm getting attitude. You do not know me. Why are you raising your voice? All I did was ask you a simple question. You don't like your job? Quit it. You know what I'm saying? You hate your job? Quit the job.
See, in foreign countries, people are more hospitable.
Exactly.
And so you made a very good point. Let's just talk about the airlines. Okay. You have United Airlines and then you have Thai Airways. Okay. They're part of the Star Alliance. So for example, whenever I fly foreign, whenever I go overseas or whatever, I always fly Star Alliance, but I never fly United. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why is because they treat you like shit. They treat you like shit. You know what I'm saying? Because it's an American airline. But if you use a foreign air carrier, Lufthansa, Thai Airways, EVA Air, Singapore Air, Qatar Air, Emirates, they treat Air China. They treat you like a fucking king.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And I don't understand. It's like why the fuck would I want to come back here? That's when I first started going there. It's like, look, they treat me like they treat you like a celebrity. That is the best way I could describe it. They treat you like a celebrity. Like you belong there. Why would I want to come back here? So when I first went there about 15 years ago, I didn't want to come back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I literally went there for a month. Remember that? I went there for a month. I didn't come back. Every 6 months I left and I didn't come back for a month. And I'm like, I got to figure out some way to make money, while I'm sleeping. I got to figure out the way to make some kind of residual money while I'm sleeping. You know what I'm saying? So I can go there and I can stay there. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm doing what I'm doing now. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I'm setting myself
That's one of
up
my goals, bro. That's one of my goals,
you know
to find me a spot overseas so I can retire and chill and live like a king for the rest of my life.
Exactly.
Why stay here? Why stay here and struggle?
Treated like shit.
You know
pay taxes. I mean, you saw how much I paid in taxes today. I was retarded. You know what I'm saying? It's like, the thing is, when you live in these foreign countries, you don't pay that shit. You pay that one time. When you buy your land, you pay it all up front. That's it. It's over. Here, I mean, if you don't pay your taxes, they take your land. How is it land of the free and home of the brave? It is not.
Yeah.
It's land of the tax and land of the tax. And if you don't pay the tax, they take your ass. So it's just like, I'm sorry, people. The American dream is over. It is gone. You have the haves and you have the have-nots.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There is no middle class anymore because they're taking it all. So you have to kind of think. You really have to think outside the box to survive in this society, to survive in this economy the way that this is, because this is what it is, people. People need to wake the fuck up. Okay, because what's going to end up happening is like, you better figure out a way to survive, or you're going to be living in your mother's house until you're 50. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you better figure it out. And I'm saying this right now. You know what I'm saying? You better figure it out, or you better leave. You know what I'm saying? Because it's over. The dream is gone. The dream is dead. So you better figure something out. Figure out a country where you can figure out to work abroad, work smart. Electronically. Digitally. Remotely. Do what you do.
Remotely,
be intelligent. Learn how to work remotely. Do it somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Because the dream is gone. Unless you inherited a property. I'm sorry, people. The way that our economy is looking right now, I give it 20 years before we collapse. 20 years. I'd rather have a 20-year head start and already have my land and already have my, my retirement set for me. So when it does collapse, when shit finally hits the fan, I said, I told you so. Peace out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now, like we said earlier, man, your money goes further in these other countries. So say you make $50,000 a year. Put your money aside, man. Take you a trip. Your money goes a long way. You can live like a king in another country. Make 70 grand a year. You can live. You can, man, really live like a king. Yet 70 grand, because you can damn near have a mansion for $1,500 a month, and have a chef, a driver, land, groundskeepers, all that kind of stuff.
In Colombia,
and also in Africa too. And so it's like, so why would I struggle? You got people spending $3,000 to live in an apartment, to live in a studio, to live in somebody's basement in parts of America. You know what I'm saying? You can't even afford to have a car.
In California, you live in a garage apartment. In San Francisco, a garage apartment is $4,200 a month. It's 1,000 square feet.
Yeah.
In Colombia, for example. And here's the interesting thing. You don't even have to own in these countries. You could just rent. You know what I'm saying? You could just rent. The average rent in these countries is between $300 and $500 a month. That is it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're on a pension, or you just kind of make, like you said, if you make $50,000 a year or $70,000 a year, $300 isn't dick shit. You see what I'm saying? You're making $300 a month, okay? And so what is that, like maybe $4 grand, $4,500? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's give or take. So you have $4,000 to fuck off on whatever you want for the rest of the month. Okay, your food there on average is maybe $300 a month, and that's eating good every day.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You could afford to pay for a chef, which on the average salary,
bro, they got people paying a chef. They got people paying a chef $200 to live in. Come to their house every day and cook a meal for them, healthy home cooked meal.
Exactly.
And we talking about top of the line chefs.
Yes. So the average salary in these countries is between $150 to $200 a month. Do you understand?
When you compare it to American income, that's what it comes out to.
Exactly.
$150 to $200 a month.
Imagine if you're in my position and you're making 6 figures, almost 7 figures. You know what I'm saying? Imagine you're in my position. You're living like a fucking god. Do you understand what I'm saying? So so the main thing is, it's like, why would I be here? It makes no sense. I'm being taxed to death here. I'm being taxed because it's sad. You're being literally taxed to death because you're successful. Make me understand that. Why would I stay here? It's not about girls. It's about quality of life. I want a better quality of life for myself and my children and my family. Because, like I said, it's not about girls and this. It's about the American dream, folks. The dream is dead. I'm sorry. It is dead. And
time after time.
That is the truth. That is the truth. And people just need to wake the fuck up and understand. It is over. I give it 20 years. 20 years before this shit implodes. We're 30
time after time, man. We've seen on numerous platforms and outlets where women have said they want men 6 feet or taller. They want somebody making 6 figures. That is very rare in our country.
You can't demand what you can't return. You cannot demand what you cannot reciprocate.
Exactly.
If you're a fat bitch. You can't have somebody who takes care of himself. You don't want to. It's got to be reciprocated. If you're a bad bitch, then you need a bad dude. If you want somebody who's a high value man, then you have to be high value too. Do you see what I'm saying? You can't have 1 billion kids. You can't have children and expect a high value man with no children. Because like Kevin Samuels says, if you're a high value woman that has children, it doesn't matter. You're an 8 at best. You're an 8, right? Because a high value man wants a woman with no children.
Yeah, so he can start his own legacy.
Exactly. Where's his legacy with you? You can't have that.
Yeah.
You know, or how can you demand a high value man that makes 6 figures or 7 figures, but you're in your late 30s, your late 40s? What can you offer him? What can you offer? I mean, fuck it. Let's just call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have too many miles on you. It's no different. You could be a late model Ferrari, okay? But at the end of the day, you could have 1,000 miles on you, but you're still a late model Ferrari.
Yeah.
Hey, you depreciated, okay, because you have that age on you. And that is the reality of it. At the end of the day, you're a late model, and you might mean well, but you know, they don't make those parts anymore. Technology's changed. You know what I'm saying? Those hoses have rotted. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I don't care if that bitch sat in the garage for 20 years. Your hoses have rotted. You know what I'm saying? There's still maintenance that's required and all that. And that is the reality of it. And people need to accept that. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that it's not possible. It just means that it's harder. You know what I'm saying? It just means you got to work harder. As the ladies, you know, I have nothing against my ladies. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you got to think outside the box too. If you want to be able to convince this man to give you this life that you want, you got to meet him halfway. Give him the respect that he wants. Treat him like a man. That toxic masculinity, that's just got to go.
Now, I'm gonna tell you a story real quick, man. I'm gonna tell you a story real quick. You know, in my first marriage, man. Let's see. I paid all the bills. I helped take care of the kids. I raised them. She didn't have to. She didn't work. None of that. This woman had the nerve to tell me that I wasn't a man because I didn't go hunting. But I take care of everything. Home is taken care of. All bills are taken care of. I help with the kids. I even comb hair, wash clothes, cook from time to time. But I wasn't a man because I didn't go hunting. What kind of fucking sense does that make? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When our counterparts from other countries and cultures can be in America and get respect as a man, as long as they're taking care of home. I'm taking care of home. That is my job. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing my job and I still can't give respect.
You know, we talked about this. Remember, we had this conversation earlier. We were talking about, you know, familiarity. You know, what some people will only give you respect. They only respect what they're familiar with. So if they come from trouble, or if they come from, they only respect their environment they come from. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, for example, let's talk about my ex-wife. My ex-wife came from a very poor part of the country, and she dealt with, you know, the kind of the worst people from society, and that's what she respected. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And in my video, you know, it was not very nice on what I said, but the reality of it was that's the only thing that she understood. She only understood people that, you know, were dishonest. You know, the way they made money was not legal, and the way that they expressed their feelings was violent. That's the only thing she respected. So that's the only thing she understood. So because I was not violent, and because I made my money legally, right? I made my money legally, and I wasn't violent, and I spoke the King's English. She didn't respect it. You understand what I'm saying? I wasn't a man to her because I didn't come from that toxic environment that she came from.
You wasn't a street dude. You wasn't a real dude.
Right. You understand what I'm saying? So the only thing that she understands is when somebody's selling drugs and beating her ass.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's you like that. You respect that, right? You know what I'm saying? So you know, they say nice guys finish last. In my situation, yeah, I finished last.
I hit you because I love you.
I fucked you up because I love you. You know? So the sad part is, it's like, you know, they only give respect to what they're familiar with. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, how does that make any sense? How can I make logic out of that?
Yeah.
But this is the majority. You understand what I'm saying? This is the majority of this dumbed down country that we live in. Do you understand what I'm saying? This show me kind of attitude. You know, we live in a very stupid society. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That has no value in home, no value in the home, value in the bags, value on what you see on social media. They value the immaterial. The material's immaterial. They have no value in the things that actually truly hold merit. You know what I'm saying? But in this neck of the woods, they do. So why the fuck do I want to be here? I'm sorry. I mean, I just got to call a spade a spade. Why would I want to be here if I'm not appreciated here? I'm not respected here.
Now my Hispanic brothers, my Hispanic homeboys, man, they might come straight from El Salvador. They might come straight from Mexico. Some of these cats might make $40,000 a year. Some of them wives are educated and make more money than them, and they still get respect. They still a man of their home. They woman ain't trying to come at them like she a dude. She ain't trying to talk to him like she could whoop his ass. She not yelling them, calling them a bitch and all that kind of stuff. They getting respect.
Or saying you're not a man. I don't think you're a man because of this.
And I make 6 figures.
Who wants to be
You know what I'm
emasculated?
saying? And I can't get the same respect that my counterpart getting.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So for example, like again, I am not a misogynist, nor do I claim to be, nor have I ever been. I have a girlfriend, and I'm in a very healthy relationship, for the record. However, my woman, the woman that I love, is from China. Okay. She lived here in America, but she's not an American citizen. Okay. So, but the reason why that we work so well together is because she gives me the respect that I deserve. You know what I'm saying? And for the record, she does earn more money than me. But does she treat me some kind of way? No. You know what I'm saying? She talks to me. She's like, I think that, we could probably maybe collectively do things, together to help you grow. Not to help me grow, to help you grow. You kind of see what I'm saying? Not a selfish bone in this woman's body. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's like, wow, I can't believe this. You know what I'm saying? But what people don't understand is this is the way it is. You know what I'm saying? It's like, they have things to offer. She has something to offer. And more importantly, she's willing to put her money where her mouth is.
Her femininity and her peace that she brings to you, man.
Exactly. And that's why I'm happier than a pig in shit. So I don't, so that's why, you can't sit here and say, well, you're one of them. No, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I've had the life experience to go out there and do it and report back to tell you it is
exactly,
better.
Man. And for every man listening, man, don't be hating if you haven't left the country. Don't be hating. Take your ass out the country and go see for yourself, and then come back and compare.
Exactly, compare and contrast. You know what I'm saying? But as of right now, where I am in life, as of today, I am in a very happy relationship with my Chinese girlfriend. We are happy. We don't post shit on social media. We don't do none of that shit because the people that post their fucking relationship for the world to see are the ones that they're the first to break up because they're seeking validation through like, comment, and subscribe versus, you know what? We reserve the right to keep our privacy private.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't post anything about our personal fucking life. You know what I'm saying? We are happy. You know what I'm saying? But like I'm saying, for anybody that's got the book and you kind of feel the need, go, get your stamps.
Raise your passport in the air and wave it like you just don't care. And if you know another place where some real bad bitches, then say, I'm going there.
I'm going there. But in all seriousness, like I'm saying, single men, 18 to 25, get it out of your system, okay? Because we're dealing with different mindsets. 18 to 25, have fun.
You being the guys are being vilified for being men.
18 to 25, go out there, soil your royal oats, have fun. Yes, it's there, okay? But from 25 to 35, you're gonna have a little time to think, okay? And I said this in the previous.
Yeah.
When you're 18 to 25, have fun. Okay. From 25 to 35, take some time while you're there and really pay attention and start thinking about your future. Start thinking. It's like, you know what? Okay. Playtime is over. I need to kind of figure out what do I really want out of life?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Is this this damaged society that we live in? Okay. Can I truly and honestly find happiness here? You got to ask yourself that. And then from there, from 35 to 45, you need to kind of it's the implementation stage on what am I going to do? Do I want to kind of make a move or do I want to stay miserable? Because I don't see things here improving. It takes an intelligent person to be able to identify the triggers, the red flags, you know what I'm saying? The attitudes, the this, the that, everything that we're describing to kind of see, is it really better? Is the grass really greener?
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? And, so from my 35 to my 45, the answer is yes, the grass is greener. It's better. It is. So I've spent the last, 15 years of my life making the implementation stages so I can retire there.
Yeah.
My future is there. It is not here. I've made my bones here. I make my money here, but my future is there. So, wake up, people. That's all I could say.
So,
it's not.
man,
Go ahead.
Also, you got a lot of women hating on these guys that are getting their passports and going overseas to find greener pastures. Now, these guys that they're talking about are the guys that's invisible to them. They don't pay no attention to these guys anyway. So why are you hating on people that you don't even want?
Just like you said, they don't want
because you got a group of people that want to control everything that men do. They don't want them, but they still want to control what they're doing.
Well, again, it's that simp mentality. It's that sentiment. It's that purgatory. It's like they don't. It's like, okay, I don't want to be happy with you, but I don't want you to be happy with anyone else.
Yeah.
Make the logic of that. You know what I'm saying? So I want to know what they want to do is they want to absolve you of all your resources. They want to use you and play you like a fiddle.
If you're not there, they can't use you.
Exactly. So then the crazy part is when they actually, so when the guy comes back and reports back to all of his friends, hey man, there's some better opportunities. You're the threat. They don't like you. You're not invited.
Oh yeah. I don't want you talking to my man. I don't want you talking to my man because you're gonna put that shit in his head.
Fill his head with that bullshit. How many times have I gotten into it with significant others? T-Swin.
Yeah.
When I'm reporting back for the last 15 years.
A gang of times.
And then they want to demonize you and call you gay and call you all kinds of other shit. They call you every name in the book. But you know why?
Because you're not in the matrix. You're going against the grain.
Exactly. You think outside the box and you expose the truth.
Yeah, the powers that be don't like that. You're like, man, hey, I'm gonna take my ball and go play somewhere else.
So for years, I was always the black sheep when I came back and reported back about, man, y'all need to go see the land of milk and honey. I've been saying this because the crazy part was when I first wanted to go, I wanted to have a group trip, but they weren't allowed to go. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to go by myself.
Yeah.
And it was the greatest experience of my life was leaving.
Yeah.
The greatest experience of my life was relearn, just kind of like, wow, this is amazing. This is amazing. This is amazing. You know what I'm saying? And then I would report back and my biggest criticizer was not the men. It was the women. You know what I'm saying? And I'm explaining everything across the board, but all they hear in their mind is bitches. That's all. I'm talking about food. I'm talking about life. I'm talking about air. I'm talking about money. I'm talking about everything.
History, culture.
Bitches.
Yeah.
How you fucking hoes? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I didn't even say that. No, that is your insecurity. It's their insecurity that's talking. You know what I'm saying? It's the fact that they know that they're dealing with their competition.
Now, another thing too. Now, I'm gonna put this out. Here.
Abundant. They're dealing with their competition.
Yeah.
The competition is abundant.
Yeah.
It's like 10,000 to 1.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's like at the end of the day, and there is no at the end of the day. It's the reality of it. The reality of it is, I am the high value man there. I am the one they want. They don't want you. They want me. The older I get, the more valuable I am, and the less valuable they are here. And they know.
Now that brings me to another point. Like you said, you got these men leaving America to find traditional women, or more traditional women, feminine women. You don't see a drove of men from other countries coming to America to get American women or westernized women. No. That's not what's happening. That's not the vibe. That's not the wave.
If it was so great, why are they not here?
Yeah.
Why are they not here?
There's no high demand for the westernized mind woman.
No. You made a comment earlier about the tricks. The guys that the women. And
they say they talking about these guys are going over there because these women know they're licked.
No, don't get me wrong. That happens. It happens, but you know what that is? That's a man so broken that he doesn't know his fucking worth because he has been beaten down like a dog and by putting up with people that only that give. Okay, I want to articulate this correctly. Okay, this happens. The men that basically get taken advantage of in these countries their worth, or they've been broken down so bad, okay, that they don't know their worth. They've been beaten down so badly that they would settle for somebody knowingly. They know they're being used. They know that they're being used. You know what I'm saying? But they were like, well, at least she's pretty. Well, it doesn't cost me that much. Well, anything is better than this.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Well, I would rather subject myself to being used by this beautiful woman in this beautiful country where it costs me a little bit than to put up with this slob.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But you know what else too, bro?
That is the reality. And that is the
what
reality.
else too, bro? They don't want them to leave because they want them to be the lick here.
Thank you. It's all about money.
They want them to be the lick here.
Like I said originally, it all boils down to I want to absorb your resources. They basically want to sit there and use you for whatever they can use you for and fill your head with bullshit until they get rid of you. So they have a problem that the fact is they can't use you. That's what it all boils down to. I don't give a fuck what they say.
Yeah.
What it all boils down to is the fact that they can't use you anymore. They can't absorb your resources. And then the fact that it's like, wow, okay, they don't want to see you with somebody more prettier than they are. They don't like the competition. Yeah. That is the reality. The fact is they can't use you anymore, and the fact that the competition is better. That is the reality of it. The competition looks better. They're younger. There is no competition. Period.
Yeah.
King has dropped the mic.
Now, if you like what you're hearing, man, and with your guy T-Swin and the real King David, the King and I, man, hit that like button, man. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Like, share, subscribe, and comment.
You know
what I'm saying? At the bottom of the screen, you can check out my boy's page, man. Subscribe to the King's Thought of the Day on YouTube. That's my boy. I've been knowing him, man, for a long time. So it was elementary school.
All life.
You know what I'm saying?
Let me elaborate on this a little more. So for example, I mean, there's bad apples in every country. Like any pretty woman on social media knows she's pretty. Okay. All right. At the end of you could go to any one of these places. Okay. It depends on why you're there.
Yeah.
Okay. You got to ask yourself as a man or as a woman or whatever refuge it is that you're seeking. Let's be real. Let's be adults. Let's be 40. I'm 43-year-old talking now. All right. Okay. Whatever refuge it is that you're seeking, seek it. Okay. But what you're going to realize is there's every walk of life in every country that you go to. Okay. There's good, there's bad, and there's ugly. Okay. Doesn't matter. Okay. If you choose the simp lifestyle to be a simp and to be used and this, that, and the other, if you're looking for shit, you're going to find it. Okay. Right. But if you're looking for refuge, you'll find that too. So you get exactly the same energy that you put into it. So if you're looking for something that's healthy, you're going to find healthy. But if you're looking for trouble, you're going to find trouble. Okay. And shit comes in pretty packages. Okay. So if you set yourself up for failure, you will be set up for failure regardless of wherever it is that you go. So yes, there are women that use men for visas. Men know that they're being used for visas. They don't care. They would rather subject themselves to be used by a beautiful woman that costs them almost nothing to subject themselves to being with what they have here. Okay. I'm not going to insult them, but they know who they are. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But they would rather subject themselves with something like that, times 10 or times 12 or times 13, because out there, all bets are off. Monogamy doesn't exist there. Monogamy only exists here. It doesn't exist there. Even in the Bible, even in the Quran, okay? Monogamy never existed. Okay? The most powerful men in the world were not monogamous. What was it? Alexander the Great. You know what I'm saying? Genghis Khan. They had their queens and they had their concubines. Every king had their queen and they had their concubines. You know what I'm saying? When on earth did, monogamy ever exist? New Testament, Old Testament, they had wives. They had multiple children. So
yeah. Now you can be here and come home to a headache every day. Somebody challenge you like a man, saying from the get-go, I don't cook, I don't clean, coming with multiple baby daddies. Or you could be somewhere in another country where your money goes longer with a woman that's feminine, has traditional values, that's gonna cook and clean and not gonna think that you're treating her like a slave.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I waited out. I think I'm taking my talent somewhere else.
Exactly. Or if you just decide to be single, then just be single.
Exactly. So we not misogynistic. We're not being misogynistic.
No, not at all.
Misogyny means that you hate women.
Hate women.
We don't hate women.
No, I
if
love
you listen
women.
to what we're saying, we love women.
I love women. I love women.
What they want you to do, they just want you to love women in America.
Well, no. What they want you to do is the women in America basically want to control you. They want to control what.
That's what I'm getting at.
They want to control your pocketbook, and they want to control what you think. Period. That's all. That's what it's all about. They want to control how you spend your money. They basically want you to spend your money on them, and they basically don't want to give you any kind of reciprocation of the feelings that you give them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Men love women differently. You know what I'm saying? Men love women idealistically. Women love men opportunistic. I can't say the word. Opportunistically. That's you know what I'm saying? I cannot say that word. Okay. But
oh man.
You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you know, women love men. I'm just gonna freestyle this. Women love men in this country contingent upon what you can do for them. Period. You know what I'm saying? They love you contingent upon what it's fucking subjective. Okay? It is not real. Okay? So if you're doing all these great things and you give them this great life, yeah, you might have a good life with them until the money stops. And when the money stops, do they still love you? You gotta leave. Remember that? I lost my job. You need to leave.
You need to leave.
You need to leave.
Let me see. Well, I'm gonna take this.
That is the fucking harsh. That is the sad reality of the society that we live in. Our society is broken. Okay. Fortunately, in these other societies, in these other countries, they're not broken yet. I'm not saying that they're not.
Yeah.
You know, they're not broken yet. So at least you got a fighting chance to have something to preserve. Because in these societies, they preserve values. They're conservative. They don't have their pussy all on the fucking on the television. You know what I'm saying? They don't have all these things, you know, where they're degrading, you know, the man in his own home. Okay, they don't degrade, you know, the value of the sanctity of marriage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They don't do that there.
Yeah.
They don't do that. You know, they only do that shit here.
Now it's a he's becoming famous, man. It's a YouTuber by the name of Austin Holloman, and he got ran out of Brazil because he made a comment about Brazilian women being easy, but people took it the wrong way. He didn't talk about being easy as in sex, being easier to deal with. That's what he meant. A feminist took it out of hand and ran with it and pushed the narrative. And had this man, you know, they wanted him out of the country. Right. But one good comment that he made, he's a young man. He's realized that there's nothing really here for him in the States. So why waste his time? He hasn't dated anybody in the States. He's been overseas. He hasn't dated, according to I believe what he said, he hasn't dated anybody in the States in like 2 years. He said after he went overseas, he said he stopped dating in America. Now he made a comment that's saying that people in these other countries are not having podcasts or having discussions about these same things we're having here in America about men and women being masculine and all that kind of stuff. They don't have these issues. They don't have those issues there. We're the country, us, and in Europe, the Western world.
In London, I would say London is pretty much
having these issues. Yeah, it is. They're having these issues. These other countries ain't having these discussions that we're having.
Oh. You know, it's interesting though. We have wars with other countries because we are trying to instill our ways there. They don't want them. They don't want them. So people in Afghanistan are willing to fight you and die because they want to keep their wife at home. Okay, that is their philosophy. Fuck it, leave them alone. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But you know, so the problem is, you know, we sit there and try to, you know, demonize other like in Qatar. And you know, during the World Cup, you know, they had issues, I guess, with a man with, you know, with the rainbow flag on his shirt. It's like, look, in your country that's acceptable, but here it is not. Respect our ways and move on. You know what I'm saying? They wanted to make a big issue about it. It's like at the end of the day, it's like you can't sit here and tell another country how to run their laws, or what the laws are, or like what happened in Russia with the basketball player who was bringing marijuana there. Okay, we can't sit there and tell this government how they operate or what their laws are. You went there, you knew the laws, you broke them. Now you're going to have to suffer the repercussions.
Yeah.
But nobody wants to sit there and be held accountable, with for their actions when you break laws in foreign countries. Their laws are not the same as ours.
Yeah. So young man, do your research before you go to these countries, but make sure you do go. Broaden your horizon.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Get yourself out of the matrix. Get yourself out of the matrix, out of the hamster wheel.
Outside the box.
Grind. Work hard, man. Put your money to the side. Take you that trip, man. Open up your mind. And you're going to see what we're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
You'll be like, damn, I don't even want to come back.
You will thank me. You will thank us. You will, just experience everything. You're going to see the good. You will see everything. When you go, you're going to see good. You're going to see bad. You're going to see ugly. You're going to see it all. But the beauty of the opportunity is you have the opportunity to compare and contrast. You know what I'm saying? You're going to start to realize it's like, wow, they got the same self. You're going to realize the hypocrisy in cellular phones. That's one of the biggest things you're going to learn when you leave the country is the hypocrisy in the mobile phone industry on how they are unlocked there. You can use any cellular service you want. Everything there is prepaid. You can recharge at any gas station, any 7-Eleven, any grocery store. You can recharge your phone. The data there is unlimited. It's unlimited. You pay $20 a month and that's it. It's not the way it is here. Okay. The other hypocrisies you're going to see is the cost of food, the cost of medical. The cost of pharmaceuticals, the cost of healthcare. You're gonna see the biggest hypocrisies in the world. When you get sick in America, you go bankrupt. Okay, yeah. If you get sick in a foreign country, you might pay maybe $300. But here, you spend 7 days in the hospital. Here, you are fucking bankrupt. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna see a lot of cracks and breaks in our society. You're going to see a lot of hypocrisies. Yeah. Okay. So aside from, what the original argument was, is like, women having issues with other women and women that can't control American men because they want to spend their money. They want to control what they think. There's other things. We have bigger fish to fry. Okay. Cost of living, cost of healthcare, cost of, just the inconsistencies of things that are here, which are not over there. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of inconsistencies here that you're going to not see there, at least not yet. You know what I'm saying? It's not there yet. But like T-Swin says, like, just, go out there and experience it and report back and just kind of, make the decision for yourself. Make an intelligent decision for yourself of whether that life is for you or whether you can find happiness somewhere else.
Come back and spread the good news, man.
Exactly. If you're not happy here, look somewhere else. Don't make yourself crazy trying to put a square peg in a round hole. If it don't fit, don't force it. And that is the reality of it all. If it don't fit, don't force it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Take a look. It's in the blue book.
Take a look. In the book.
Take a look. It's in the book.
That book. It's reading Rainbow.
Yeah. Man, it's been a great talk, man. It's been a great talk.
And this portion of the it's not the King David Super Show, but this portion of the T-Swin Super Show was brought to you in part by Dave Surshak in Galveston. You know what I'm saying? It is a Airbnb, 5 units, vacation rentals. Call, make a booking. We have multiple properties available. For vacation living, which should be available in the next maybe month or so. Airbnb. You got anybody else want to? Anything you want to?
Well, it's your guy T-Swin. Y'all be on the lookout for transportation music coming real soon. Just finishing up a couple cuts, and I'm gonna take y'all out on some music at the end of this. Man, big shout out to the Real King David coming on tonight. And go to his YouTube channel. Subscribe.
Like, comment,
right
subscribe.
There at the bottom right at the bottom of the screen.
King's Thought of the Day.
The King's Thought of the Day. Also, man, my podcast. Men can't always be wrong podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, and go to that, man.
It can be heard
YouTube.com at MCABW Podcast, man.
It's on Spotify. It can be heard on Spotify, Pandora, Sirius XM,
everywhere,
Amazon
man.
Music,
Iheart Radio,
iHeart Radio,
Audible, everywhere, man. Pandora, everywhere.
Yep, and as well as myself, the King's Thought of the Day can be heard on all streaming media, same as before, same ones. I'm not going to repeat them, but it can be found. All you got to do is just type it in there. You will find it. The King's Thought of the Day. And actually type in the King's Thought of the Day uncensored. You put that in, you will find it will populate. I guarantee you. Yeah. So hopefully we can have more of these really great shows. You know, we they're live. We say exactly what we think. It's uncensored. You know, I'm not really here to please everybody. I'm just here just to give it to you straight. Give you the truth.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, hey, I'm sorry. You know, we could have it. We could have a intellectual debate. We don't have to always agree on everything. As long as we're respectful to each other, we can agree to disagree. I can live with that. You know, I'm not always right. I'm not always right.
Yeah, if you can't watch video while you're driving, which you shouldn't be, you know what I'm saying? Go to those podcast platforms and listen. Listen to our shows, man. Make sure you spread the word, man. I'm also on Blog Talk Radio. You know what I'm saying? It's your guy T-Swin, Real King David, and we out here, and I'm gonna take you out to some transportation music.
Hit the like button, fool.
Them people want you to chill. Watch. Don't sleep behind the wheel.
Young men, don't sleep behind the wheel.
Trying to make a deal.
Hey.
Don't sleep behind the wheel. Stay up. Them people want you to chill. Don't sleep behind the wheel.
The Matrix wants you to chill.
The devil trying to make a deal. Hey. Don't sleep behind the wheel. They ain't never do nothing. They want you to be nothing. But you're trying to be something, so they push a few buttons. One thing worse than hate, gotta be the jealousy. They ain't even speak, but you can hear it like telepathy. You can see the truth when a hater get tipsy. It be the closest ones that try to do you like Nipsey, do you like Dolph, mistaking you for South, cause they grounded for life and your stars taking off. You putting in work and they kept taking off. Your big play, gonna have them calling it for sick day. Big way, crushing all the crabs in the bucket. You talk about change and they just try to change the subject. Smash on the gas till you reach your destination. Be cautious of relations that ruin your reputation. There's always a Judas waiting in the congregation when he could be a student and mimic your elevation. For real, them people want you to chill. Don't sleep behind the wheel. The devil trying to make a deal. Don't sleep behind the wheel. Stay up. Them people want you to chill.
Hit the like button.
Don't sleep behind the wheel. The devil trying to make a deal. Don't sleep behind the wheel. You trying to show the family a different way of life. Their thought process and yours is day and night. Pray for sight and guidance, making movements in silence so you can think clear. Get them demons out your ear. Life ain't a game, but it's similar to poker. It don't take effort for you to be mediocre. Now you can be the joker, you can be the king. With faith in a dream, you can have anything. Stand still and be buried in the landfill. The wrong circles could really hurt you or get a man killed. Watch who you align with, run, hustle, and grind with. Share your ideas and choose to spend time with. Team players, or are they playing for the other side? Would they even come to your funeral if a brother died? The road to success might require no passengers, no plus ones, no leeches, and no scavengers. For real, them people want you to chill. Don't sleep behind the wheel. The devil trying to make a deal. Don't sleep behind the wheel.
Like my fool.
Them people want you to chill. Don't sleep behind the wheel. The devil trying to make a deal. Don't sleep behind the wheel.
Hit the like button, fool.
Hey, peace out.